Shout to CommenterNation, greatest nations, United Nations. Here's where things get graphic. Your favorite mogul's time, your favorite entertainer's time, your favorite comedian's time, your favorite actor, actress's time, your favorite musician's time. R&B, country, all the above, bluegrass on the low. You rocking with the one and only. Let's get into it. The Kenneka Jenkins case. Let's ask ourselves, why in this case were we not aware of all the fingerprints that were on the legs of the victim? Now, we already have a manager during testimony that he gave to the police admitting that he touched her legs to wake her up. Was that all you touched her legs for, sir? Because allegedly there was a security guard roaming that also was off footage for just as much time as you. And I seen the graphic photos of her dead. Why was her nose and her mouth smashed? Who made physical contact with her, with this young girl? And I'm also allegedly now knowledgeable. Shout to another commenter that has joined the ranks that has told me the security guard left town. Chicago, hear me. You have one of the people that was suspicious and allegedly an employee that has left town nearly right after this event has occurred. Is that yay or nay? That needs regulated. If they're going to allow people to skip town and not regulate who is actually on the situation, when is the public going to stand up and defend what they love? Listen to me. And I told you guys before, there is an epidemic. And, you know, my video always messes up. Maybe we got to ask YouTube about this. YouTube, why does my video mess up in the middle of me doing it? What is the hindrance, YouTube? Yes, I'm having hindrance by YouTube while I'm delivering this, so listen closely. Chicago, what are you doing about the epidemic of young African-American girls being found with organs missing? What are you doing? I need you all to set aside your differences and step up and look into this. Why? Because the photo I seen of the alleged suspect did not look African-American in nature. It did not. Why and how is this occurring in places where your daughters, your sisters, your children are going and hanging out? They're going missing in the midst of all-out turmoil. Can we please have people set aside their differences, research this, and find the people that are of nature to this? Who touched Kenneka Jenkins' legs? Was it just this manager? We had no talk of fingerprints. They didn't even mention the fingerprints of just him being found. Did they take fingerprints on the legs? The fact she was frozen, that's the perfect scenario you can take fingerprints. It preserved it. Even to this day, you can still go check fingerprints on clothing. Was this done? If not, why? Why? We already know the video was handed in late. So where is the understanding that fingerprint technology was used to decipher who actually touched this girl's legs? Think of that very thought. Shaking legs to wake them up. But you didn't see who was in there. You just saw legs. So you just saw legs, leaned over and shook it like a Scooby-Doo special. I'm supposed to believe that, but in the same time, they don't collect data for salary. And I'm supposed to believe that was protocol. You didn't want to know everybody who was on the clock that day. You just wanted to know who was hourly. What type of information would lead you to do that when you knew there was a manager walking back and forth that showed you the body in the first place? Why does it sound like investigation was dodging the truth? Think of this logically. Why does it sound that way? I can't help but think that. That is the one thing I can't answer that I keep thinking about. What was the purpose of you not looking into whose fingerprints was on the body? But you were searching for hourly employees. So you found a bunch of hourly employee fingerprints? Or did you not notice the fact a manager admitted to touching the legs? Where's the common sense? I thought these investigators went to school and learned from common sense. So me respecting your knowledge, I can only presume you did it on purpose. I can only presume it was a purpose reason you did not collect certain information. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Show me I'm wrong. Let me know something. Am I missing something? I'm not understanding. Where is the speak of these fingerprints? Let alone, why didn't they look at the original cameras and see what these YouTubers are seeing? What type of lack of mental progress is apparent to prevent them from doing the very basics of understanding any individual with a brain does? Where do you lack at? Where do you lose your understanding at? Where does your mind slip that you don't see facts? Where does this occur at? Where's the missing understanding in between what's actually going on? Look. Look, subscribe and hit that like button. They are playing with my video every time I talk about Kenneka Jenkins. Every time. They don't fail. They're playing with my video. So I need y'all to slide over, hit the bell, hit the subscribe button. We're growing rapidly. Keep it going. But yes, every time I talk about this subject, about a deceased or little missing girl that is of African American origin, so my video gets played with. Let me find out YouTube's playing around. Let me find out you guys are playing around with it. I don't believe it, but who there is controlling the video and different things? I know there's monitoring on this. I know that. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Where's the fingerprints of who was there? You know who was there that day. Where's everybody's fingerprints? How come you haven't screened the calls that were going in and out of the hotel? What are you missing? Or is this on purpose? Now, let me ask something else. Where was the security guard during the time and after the body was found? Why don't we have photo of him? And why did the guy Chaos Sector show editing in the video? Let alone, I remember at a prior time in Chaos Sector's video, he showed individuals going to the computer room that were not police, that were not working there, that were allegedly editing themselves. Really? You guys are doing a worse job than the social media doing checking up and solving these crimes. You're getting your check to watch people suffer. Let me tell you this. Because you live your life that way, the way things work, the very child you hold in your arms daily is going to be in harm's way because of the fact you let someone else's child die and you knew they were being assaulted. You knew bad stuff was happening and you turned a blind eye. The very seed you created will be up for scrutiny and up for examination by another predator's hands because you remit and you gave up the opportunity to do what's right. Don't think your good thing, you can run far away. It's not going to escape you. It's not. Because that's the rule and the law of life. You do unto others as you want done unto you. Because what gets done unto you is similar to that you let get done unto others. Are you that lack of mind that you don't understand that? Well, let's see if you understand this. It gets deeper. I found 3 more individuals. One of them commented to me that have very vital photo, and we're going to give them their credit on a live stream we're doing. We're going to give them their credit on uploads. We are going to show everybody who's put in work to help solve this case. And let me tell you this, they solved it. I don't care what you know, what you hear, they solved it. They did it. It's very clear as to who did what when you look at what they're talking about. Very clear. Very clear. I seen the photo of a beaten young girl, beaten, dead. And on her face was an expression of pain. Then reports allege she was sexually assaulted. Alleged it. We don't know this. They allege an assault. How is this allowed? Where's the allowances for this type of stuff to go on? What type of country do we live in where freedom of speech, freedom of expression is taken from another because a sicko can't use their sack or can't be a man and go out and earn it themselves? You're such a weak man. You guys just have no nuts. And when you're probably trying to do it, your girl probably says she can't feel anything. It's so small. You're probably just Disgusting. Just a sad man. A sad male. We're not even going to call you a man. We're not even going to call you a man. You know what you are when them clothes are off. Sick. You know how I rock. All rights reserved.